I just channeled my second book, God Send Me, and I wanted to share a little bit more about the emotions that one goes through when they're channeling a book. Hi, I'm Stellian, founder and chief storyteller at Stellar Storytelling. We do all things branding, publishing, storytelling, podcasting, and so much more. God Send Me is a collection of 144 verses or poems for your spiritual awakening, and as you might imagine, it is quite charged, energetically speaking. There are spiritual themes, there are religious themes. So, the very first emotion I experienced was fear. What are people going to say? Fear had such a strong grip on me at the start of February when I began channeling this book that I almost questioned my beliefs, my faith, my purpose. What am I here to do? Why is this coming to me? What does it mean? Because I started the year with completely different goals. I had in mind I'm going to write books that were connected to exploring creativity and happiness. And suddenly I was channeling a book titled God Send Me because that's how it arrived. It arrived with the title, and then I was infusing all the words into their allocated names, the names of the poems or the verses. And even calling them verses, that is religiously charged, biblically charged. But I knew deep in my spirit this was the right way to share what came through. The second emotion that I felt was excitement. There was a lot of joy that came with being able to go back to my creative writing days. My bachelor degree was journalism and creative writing. So my quest for, or thirst rather, for truth has been very strong since embarking on this journey to get a degree in journalism. But creative writing has been part of my career journey, even more so as I've been supporting leaders with their brand strategy, with their creative strategy. So, being able to go back to my teenage years, even my childhood, when I would first attempt to write poems, this was a return back home. And it was exciting to explore parts of me that I thought I had not necessarily lost forever, but I had abandoned back in the past. The third emotion was relief because I was finally able to share a part of me that only I knew, or maybe a part of me that was dormant for a very long time. The part of me that was spiritual, the part of me that was, dare I say, enlightened, the part of me that had access to this deep ancestral knowledge that even I don't know how I have access to it beyond this inner understanding that it's part of my soul's blueprint. It's part of who I am based on how much I've experienced Earth and the universe in my many lifetimes, if you believe in such thing as lifetimes. I do. Therefore, that's how I'm using this awareness, this understanding, my belief system to explain what is happening. Even the idea of channeling something that it means that it's coming from somewhere. It means that it's coming from a library of knowledge. It means that it's coming from a place, like a source, what we refer to as source, where all the data of the universe is flowing from. That means that I've done the inner work necessary to be able to tap into that source and channel my own higher self and channel words that the spirit realm wants me to channel at this time on earth. So there was relief that came with the understanding that I've liberated my own soul, my spirit, to be able to share such a book on earth. The fourth emotion that came through with this book was this idea of honor, appreciating that I'm able to represent words of gospel almost into the new earth to remind people of knowledge that has been here for a very long time. If you read this book, you'll notice some themes that have been explored for a very long time by many talented, brilliant people in different aspects of society, in different industries of society, not just literature or religion or spirituality. If you read this book, you also notice that I'm honoring some of the new leaders that are now making an impact in society as we know it. And if you read this book, you also understand that it's not trying to teach you something that you don't already know. It's trying to create bridges between that which you already know, but you cannot see the connection between all the different elements of art. This book is alchemy in itself because it's connecting puzzle pieces. It's bringing missing puzzle pieces on your journey, and it's making it clear to you what we're trying to do as part of the awakening. We're trying to connect. We're trying to establish stronger connection with our higher self, with God, with one another, with our purpose. And this is highly connected to my purpose. So I felt great honor. I felt honored to be able to channel this book on earth. The last emotion that I experienced was deep love, that you might call gratitude as well, that you might also call peace. Because I was not only able to speak about the law of one, I was not only able to share parts of myself that I wasn't able to share previously, I was also able to reach people, readers, with this knowledge and introduce my soul to them, but also bring them closer to their own soul. And so some of the responses from readers have been charged with so much love. And so I felt deep love that I was able to channel this book, that I was able to share it with the world, and that it was able to reach people at such a deep level. It was able to bring people back to their soul, back to their purpose, back to their origin story, which might have originated many lifetimes ago. And so when I talk about channeled books, this is what I mean. These are not just words, these are not just stories. There is energy inside, there are emotions, and every single thread of the story is connected to something. And when the reader picks up the book, when the time comes, we all know about divine timing. When the divine timing comes for you to read a channeled book, whether it's this one or whether it's one of the many channeled books that we have on earth right now, the reader is never going to be the same because of what was channeled between the lines, between the breaks, between the poems and the verses. Every channeled piece of art, whether it's a book, whether it's a painting, it contains so much more information that is flowing directly from the artist's consciousness to the reader or the viewer, from the creator to the psyche of another creator who's consuming what has been given and understanding what they need to do with that. I hope you get a copy of God Sent Me. And if you do, please send me your thoughts, leave a review, share it with a friend. And if you're ready to channel your book, get in touch with me. Let's book a call. Let's get started with your channeling journey because I guarantee you it will make you feel things that you make yourself very proud, but you also understand that there's so much more to you in the process of allowing yourself to channel freely from your own higher self, from source, from God. If you enjoyed this video, follow Stellar Storytelling for more storytelling tips.